What's up, nerds? It's Gerald, aka Salient on anything on social media or online, aka the eye candy of Mushbrains Media. And I've had the PS5 here for roughly 2 weeks now, and I wanted to take this opportunity to kind of dive in, give my thoughts and impressions on it. I recorded a little bit of the UI and some gameplay, just a smidgen, just to kind of show it off. I didn't want to make this a extremely long video. And just talk about some of the things that impressed me, some of the things that might not have impressed me as much, things of that nature. Just, yeah, kind of getting a basic idea of what this thing's doing. Anyway, let's take a look. So here, of course, we have the basic UI. And as it seems everyone on the internet is, I'm just kind of testing things with Borderlands 3. You've seen me play this game in a couple of other videos, or at least talk about it. I've done it on Switch. And it's one of the games that I'm most familiar with as far as what has been ported to the PS5 from PS4. So I wanted to kind of show off here. We've got a dancing claptrap, the bane of any Borderlands player. Now, one thing that you'll notice is he's gone. Done, just like that. Jumping into a game is so freaking fast compared to what we did with the last generation. So I wanted to show off literally jumping into some gameplay, not just from the menu to start, but into the gameplay as well. And yet again, it's quick. It's a lot quicker than I was used to. I would normally have time to, respond to a text just jumping between areas. And that's not the case anymore. So here I kind of wanted to show off, if you wanted to use the switcher to jump between games. Unfortunately, I forgot that the last two games I had pulled up were from a hard drive I don't have connected. So I kind of, show off a little bit of the activities cards and things. So the next thing I do is I'm going to go into Astro's Playroom here, jumping in from an activity card. So just hit square over one of those cards, and instead of going through any type of splash screen or anything like that, I press a button, and from cold boot of this game, I'm in that quickly. And yeah, again, that's impressive. That's something that has to be coded into the system. That's not something that every developer is going to say, oh man, we should offer this. But for those who choose to, it is a game changer. A lot of people are talking about how there's no quick switch like there is on the Xbox Series X. And with these activity cards, if they're done right, you don't need it. So I thought that was impressive. And then, of course, because I had booted up Astro's Playroom, and this was my favorite experience on the PlayStation 5 so far, just because of the nostalgia. It's cute as hell. You can see all of the different things they've kind of gotten in to show, previous games and such. And I kind of had to tear myself away from just playing around in this cute little sandbox. But don't think of this as just a pack-in game. That is, like I said, my absolute favorite experience so far. I know you're probably saying, how can that be your favorite experience when Demon Souls is out and you're a diehard Souls fanatic, which is true. I do love the series. So how is Astro about my favorite? Well, it's just adorable. It hits all the right notes. I can't say. So here we're loading into Demon Souls. We still have to go through some splash screens here. Unfortunately, this was not optimized as well as Astro's Playroom. But it still doesn't take too long to get into a game. I could have been in sooner if I didn't know, that I was going into offline mode for some reason. But as you can see, you're in a flash. Here, of course, I'm just playing a little bit of it, showing off the way it looks. It's a good looking game. This was all recorded in 1080p because, well, quite honestly, my computer sucks and I can't record much higher than that, or any higher than that at all. And, Just a little bit of elite gameplay here. Probably recorded too much gameplay. Might edit some of this out. Who knows? But we got in quickly where we need to be. It looks good. It feels good. And these stupid shielded slimes. You gotta hate them. You gotta hate them. I ate some grass because I don't know why I'm used to picking up things with the square button. Still can't get past that. So here I wanted to show the PlayStation Store. This is fantastic and a hiccup at the same time. Fantastic because as you can see, it's completely integrated. You can just drop in. There's no app to launch. There's no going through a browser. It's integrated from the go. So it's super fast. Now, one thing that I want to point out, I'm going through all these collections and such. Like I said, Thanksgiving is tomorrow. We're currently in their Thanksgiving week sale, or Black Friday sale, whatever you want to call it. And there's no mention of that anywhere. There is no deals tab like there is on the app or like there was on PS4. And every week I would boot up my console just to run through the deals and see what they had, and that's missing now. So that is a huge misstep in my opinion, because I bought so many dumb games I never would have bought just because they were on sale. Just being entirely honest. I'm pretty sure that's how most of us are now. We have backlogs that we will never, ever clear. Of course, I showed off some of the PlayStation Now UI for anyone who's bothered with that. And here I'm showing off a little bit that impressed me. And that's just the network test on it. The connection speed on my PS4 and the exact same environment that I have set up now, I would normally see about 60 to 80 megabits per second. I'm paying for a gigabit download. And I know I'm never going to get a gig just because I've got so many devices. I've got other users in the house. And to me, just to be able to hit that 250 consistently is amazing. That's a quality of life improvement that cannot be overstated. So now, yeah, again, it's all about jumping into games as fast as possible. So that's impressive to me. And to kind of show it off here, I'm going to go back into the store and show how quickly you can actually just purchase a game. It's almost a little weird that, you know, there's no barrier between you and buying games anymore. I didn't actually buy it. I just finally downloaded my upgrade for Dead by Daylight. And this is one thing I want to point out. You have to go to those three dots. You have to hit View Product, or else you're just going to download the PS4 version again. And another thing that they need to fix, and you'll notice it here in a second, whenever I hit download, it's downloading both versions. Why the hell do I need both versions, dude? So it's saying it can't install. And at first I was like, what the hell? Why? But that's because it's trying to install the PS4 version. And I did not plug in my external hard drive because I had to bring this into the office. So that's a problem. Don't download both versions. I don't need both versions. Give me the PS5 version. Why would I play the inferior version? That's stupid. But as you can see, it's downloading super freaking fast. And yet again, those are the things that matter to me. Download speeds are important this generation because your space is freaking limited. It is extremely limited. So I've got that downloading, and as you saw, I went in, I was like, hey, download this, and I was like, yep, okay, I'll got it. I was going to buy something, but I don't know. I'm waiting for more stuff to buy, or that thing that hits me. Of course, feel free to send me money if you want me to buy more PS5 games. We can always make that happen. What I was trying to do here was I wanted to show that it did not diminish download speeds whenever you're playing music, which was a huge boon, or like a huge boon to me, because last generation, if you're doing anything else on your PS5's network, or PS4's network, my apologies, it cut everything to a snail's pace. So you couldn't be playing anything else online. You couldn't even listen to freaking music. You couldn't watch Twitch or anything. It would kill your download speeds. Now that doesn't affect it. I couldn't show that because of course I had to turn off HDCP to be able to get this capture without going through a couple of back doors. And I was trying to show here that I was still online, but I forgot to start me in offline mode. So sorry about that, guys. But just know that being online doesn't kill your download speeds anymore. And that's all that matters to a man like me who's constantly deleting and re-downloading things to my PS5. It's already ready to play. Of course, it's still downloading more, and 8 minutes later, I'll be able to have the full thing available. Another thing, it's not doing it here, which I think it's because everything's kind of hard baked into the game. There's no downloading of DLC. It's just downloading keys to access DLC. But whenever I downloaded Borderlands 3, it was like, hey, I see you purchased all of this DLC. I'm going to go ahead and start downloading that for you too. Didn't even ask. It was just like, oh, yep, now downloading 6 items. Which was pretty rad, especially when those 4 gig expansions were downloading super fast. And then here I'm going to wrap it up, just, you know, standing in the middle of the Nexus because it's a beautiful area. It's an absolutely beautiful area. Hey guys, I'm actually just jumping back in real quick because as I was editing it, I realized I forgot to mention one feature that I thought would be silly and pointless, but actually kind of blew me away. And I just want to mention that real quick. That's on the controller itself, there's a microphone. And in Astro's Playroom, of course, you blow into it to make things happen. It's stupid. It's, you know, gimmicky or whatever. But when it came in handy is I realized whenever I was playing Borderlands 3, I was playing it online, and I jumped into someone's game, and they started talking. And I was like, oh god, I've got to go turn on my headset and everything so I can talk back. No, you can actually do party chat just through that little speaker or the little microphone in the controller. And if you're like me, that's, you know, I'm not always in a headset, I'm not always feeling the most social, but, you know, I don't mind unmuting my microphone and just speaking into a party, you know, for call outs and things like that if I happen to be online. And just that one little function, and it sounds good. Like I had my roommate jump into a party chat with me where we're just both talking through our controllers, and it sounds really good. And I just wanted to make sure that got addressed as well. Anyway, here's the rest of the video. So all in all, like I said, I've really enjoyed my experience with the PS5. I am glad I own it. I would not pay $800 to $1,000 for it. I would not buy it in a bundle from any CD retailers who are on the brink of collapse that are selling it for, you know, $900 if you buy these games you're never going to play and accessories you're never going to use with it. And of course, I would not punch anyone in a target to get one. My final verdict on the system as a whole is, if you have to wait, just wait. It's you'll be able to get one next year. There's not going to be any problem getting one next year. Don't think that you have to have this if it's going to put you out in any way. It's good to have, but there's a lot of great experiences still coming out on the previous generation consoles. Especially on the Xbox side, there's nothing coming out there that you can't play. You know, there's nothing coming out for the Series X that you can't play on your Xbox One. So you'll be fine without one if you don't have one yet. If you do have one, congratulations. Yeah, again, the quality of life stuff, like the quicker downloading, the quicker boot ups, things like that really make it. One thing that I do want to complain about a little bit is with the PS5, I was expecting to go into this magical world of 4K 120 ray tracing, and now I boot it up and it's like, oh no, you get to pick like one of those things. Do you want 4K? Do you want ray tracing? Do you want 120 frames per second? And I wanted all three at the same time. I thought that was the experience I'd be getting. and it's not. I understand to do that on, a PC, you have to have some beastly hardware. But I don't know, back in the back of my brain, I thought maybe they figured it out. Maybe they had the secret sauce to make it happen on these $500 consoles. That's not the case. I booted up Miles Morales, which is, great game, fun game. It's more Spider-Man. And I loved the way the world looked with ray tracing on, because those real time reflections off the windows and the puddles and everything of New York City. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. It looks fantastic. After about 4 hours, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to switch over to 60 frames per second and see how I like that. And damn it, man, I can't go back. It's just too smooth. You're swinging through New York City and it looks amazing at that frame rate. I just wish that I didn't have to choose. And I'm sure by the time I get my PS5 Pro in 3 or 4 years, that won't be a problem. But damn it, I really wish that future was now. Aside from that, my only other complaints are, let me, have rest mode. I can't put it into rest mode. I have to shut it down all the way, which a cold boot is quick, so it's okay, but that also loses your progress and such. It's not keeping it in that, save state in the background. Fix that, Sony, that would be great. And lastly, variable refresh rate. My TV doesn't support it, my monitor does, but my TV does not support it. But I still really want that to hurry up and come through the pipeline, because variable refresh rate, I believe, is one of the biggest things to come out of what TVs and consoles can do now. You don't have to worry about, like, if you're hitting 120 frames per second, which we've seen this happen with the Devil May Cry 5 Ultimate Enhanced, Expanded, whatever edition they're calling it. The problem is that it's constantly pushing from 120, but it can't hit it all the time, obviously. And that's fine if you've got variable refresh rate, because with variable refresh rate, you're not going to know the difference between 120, 100, or even 90 frames per second. But if you don't have that VRR enabled, that's going to make it so that it's juddery. You're going to have a lot of screen tearing. You're going to have a lot of judder steps in it, because it's not, your monitor or TV won't recognize it as being 90 to 110 frames per second. It'll say, hey, it's either 120 or it's at 60, GTFO with everything else. Another thing that people are complaining about, 1440p. That would be cool to have, but considering TVs don't really recognize 1440p, and these are designed for televisions and not for monitors, I don't blame them for skipping it. That's fine. If they do 1440p and upscale that to 4K, that's what a lot of games do, and they look fantastic. So that's perfectly fine. I'm okay with it. I don't need that. So I believe that wraps up everything that I kind of just wanted to put out there about my 2 weeks with the PlayStation 5 so far. If there's anything I didn't touch on, anything you want me to talk about later, just let me know down below in the comments. Yell at me, whatever. I don't care. I've got thick skin. Also, please just like the video. Subscribe if you haven't. Help us grow. Help me get to a point where I can buy more PS5 games to talk about with y'all. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.